Hey everyone, it's me, the GOAT Billy. Today, we're diving into day 2 of the North Coast Trail, and if you thought yesterday wrecked your arms, you haven't seen anything yet. We're kicking things off with a cable car crossing, then jumping straight into brutal vertical rope climbs. And that's just the warm-up. Each section tests every muscle in your body and your resolve to carry on. If you make it through today, you will become a legend. I'm packed up and I'm good to go. Nahwitti River, Nahwitti campsite was a real treat. And just look at that backdrop. That's awesome. Deep blue, vast ocean. I saw a bunch of mammals bob their heads out this morning. Wonder what they were. They might have been sea lions or something like that. Yeah, it's pretty quiet night other than the waves. Had a great sleep, ready to go. And yeah, I'm super glad I made the trip out here. That Skinner Creek campsite was really nice as well. Had a huge beach, probably even bigger than this one. Seen that salmon run yesterday, and just having that meal on that river, watching them jump for a couple hours. That was truly spectacular. Today I've got a really big journey. I do believe it's 14, 15 kilometers. Originally I wanted to go to the Camp Sutil. I think that's how it's called. Sutil. I'll be there in about 2 hours, maybe 3 hours. So I think I'm just gonna go a bit further today, and it'll be a bit of a longer day. I think it's an 8K stretch after that, and apparently that's the most brutal part of the North Coast Trail. So yeah, I'll just have to see how it goes, and yeah, if I'm at my campsite by 6 o'clock, that should be good. Anyways, I think it's about time to say goodbye to this lovely place. Goodbye, Camp Nahwitti. Sure has been a treat. If anyone has an ultra adventurous spirit and they like a huge challenge, well, come give this one a go. You'll be in for a real treat. We start the day at Nahwitti River campsite. Shy of 1 kilometer, we make our way to our first obstacle of the day, the cable car. Back into the forest we go for about another 3 kilometers. Ropes and mud await us. Once we make it to Sutil Beach, that's when the real test of upper body strength begins. Between here and Tripod Beach, there will be 20-meter vertical rope climbs, and I mean vertical. Without the ropes, it would be impossible. These climbs are tough and would be dangerous if it were rainy, so be extra careful here. After your arms have turned to spaghetti, we find ourselves on Tripod Beach and at Camp Sutil. This is a good spot to make camp or rest if that last part got the better of you. The next and final 8 kilometer of the day is the toughest part of the whole North Coast Trail. It doesn't look like much on a map, but it is the most intense. You will be climbing up ropes all day, going into forests, and spit back onto rock beaches. You'll be doing this for seemingly countless amounts of times while vaulting over giant driftwood logs. You are going to be praying for this adventure to get easier, but it doesn't. Far from it. It's a true grind that you should be in shape for. I don't recall there being any water between Camp Sutil and Camp Irony, so make sure you overhydrate and take as much water as you can before you leave Camp Sutil. The whole day is going to be a grueling 14 kilometers of some of the toughest backpacking you'll ever experience. Time to begin today's journey. From what I can see, there are still a fair amount of campers on the beach. The fabled cable car awaits me, but first, I must make a hearty breakfast and some caffeine to start my day off right. Back at the river, it is tea time and soup time. Got some Earl Grey vanilla. This stuff is delicious. And of course, my golden soup mixture. Oh, nom, nom. All right, I'll let that cook for about 10 minutes. Let's see how this is looking. Oh yeah. Oh, foggy lens. Yeah, that's looking good. Looks nice and cooked. What a delicious meal. A high-protein breakfast is always a great way to begin an adventure. It's only a brief stroll through this Jurassic land and an easy climb up on end feet until I arrive to what I've been excited for, the cable car. This unconventional mode of transportation typically sits in the middle of the rope slack. Pulling in the cable car is tougher than it looks. The car itself is quite heavy and you'll be working against gravity to get it up to the platform. If you thought your arms were spaghetti yesterday, they surely will be today. Don't skip arm day for this adventure. Once you get about halfway across the river, it's where the real work begins. Now you have to pull yourself to the platform while sitting down. It's quite awkward and is a real workout. Doing this by yourself is much harder, especially when you are disembarking the cable car. It's a real challenge to hold onto the weight of the cable car with your pack inside and get out at the same time. With two people, it's not an issue because one person can hold the rope steady while the other person can hop out and guide you to the platform. Normally, I save this bit for the end, but I'll add it in here now as you'll see why shortly. Every time I film these shots, I have to go back and grab my cameras. Most people do the cable car once, but I did it 3 times. My arms were dead, and the day had just begun. When I went back to retrieve my cameras, another adventurer was waiting for his turn to cross Nahwitti River. He helped reel me onto the platform. We decided to go together for this go. It was nice that I was able to experience what the cable car is like for most people when they decide to embark on this unreal backpacking adventure. Teamwork goes a long way, especially for situations such as this. On the other side of the river, there is a metal platform that you have to climb down. Unlike the other side, you are able to tie the car to the platform so it is much easier to get off. There are signs everywhere telling you to make sure you untie it before you leave. Failing to do so will leave other backpackers stranded. It's flat for a little bit after the cable cars. Then it's rope time. So much rope. It's like day one all over again. Climbing up and down gnarly root systems and rocks. Some of them can be quite vertical. There's a good spot for water halfway between Nahwitti and Cape Sutil. If you need a quick sip, this is it. A decent crevice with a rope system to guide you down the way. Out of all the rope climbs on this adventure, this one was one of my favorites. Don't forget to put your gaiters back on. You will be in some muddy areas. It's not close to the muddiness of the bog of yesterday, but it's still good insurance for now. You know you're getting close to Tripod Beach when you start to descend the stairs. You'll also hear the welcoming crash of waves upon the beach at this point. If you're looking for a quieter place to camp, then Cape Sutil is the place to be. Most adventures go from Nahwitti to Irony Creek. Cape Sutil often gets missed because of how close it is to Nahwitti. I have made it back to the beach. After a brief forest walk, I am here in a little tide pool. Nothing extravagant like Botanical Bay, but hey, it's still really neat. So just behind me, we've got Tripod Beach and we've got Sutil campsite. So my goal today was to beat the low tide, and I have done that. Low tide is in about 40 minutes, so I'll be able to pass on the beach. Now, usually there's a walk around if you arrive at medium tide or high tide, but not at this location. So you gotta be here at low tide, or else you gotta wait. And yeah, it just worked out perfectly today. I'm gonna do a little beach walk for the next little bit, and yeah, I'm gonna make my way all the way to Irony Creek today. It's gonna be a long day, but it's only 12, so let's get going. Just getting a little worried about a water source for a minute. It's a bit more scarce than on Wandafuka. I've made it to Cape Sutil. There's some lure, and then there's also a yurt. Can't use this yurt, it's for the park rangers. Here's the beach. It goes on for a couple of kilometers. Very nice sandy beach. Just went to the gym for about half an hour there, going up and down, climbing near vertical ropes, slipping through mud and roots. Got my foot stuck in a little root system, so yeah, you gotta be really careful on that stuff. Wasn't able to get any good footage of it. There's no flat spots anywhere. There's no setup anywhere, so you'll just have to take my word for it. But yeah, that one was all upper body. I was sweating like a pig. All right, it's going on 2 o'clock. I need to start making my way to Irony Creek. Onwards. Cape Sutil would be a great campsite for day 2. Got beach as far as the eye can see. Oh, and after that intensive upper body workout going up and down the ropes on the gnarliest slopes that were nearly vertical, yeah, it's good to rest here for a day if you can. But for me, Irony Creek is calling me. It's time for me to say goodbye. Goodbye, Cape Sutil.
If you're looking for the bear food locker, it's in a weird spot. You keep going as if you are continuing on your adventure to Irony Creek. There's a driftwood entrance to access the locker, and it's tucked in along the path in the forest. Now begins the hardest part of the North Coast Trail. After the bear locker in the forest, we get yeeted back onto the beach, but this time, it's not so kind, for there are large pebbles as far as the eye can see. There won't be much for sand until Irony Creek. A common theme about this part is you climb into the forest and hike for a few hundred meters, then have to climb back out onto the rugged beach. Most entrances are littered with various sized driftwood, many of which are unstable, especially the smaller fellows, so watch your step. One of the nice things about this part is there isn't much for rope climbs. As the day goes on, fatigue starts to settle in. The large stones are not kind to your feet. It's a bit like walking on concrete that shifts around. With each step, you sink down slightly and lose a bit of energy. It's not much at first, but it adds up, especially with an extra 20 kilos on the back. Nice thing about the forest is that the mud and the roots are much kinder to your soles. Between yesterday's initial grind and today's cable car and tripod beach climb, the arms are nearing 100% cooked spaghetti, which is unfortunate because the ropes aren't done with me yet. Oh no, not even close. Luckily for me, during that last shot, I was barely able to walk on the beach. If the tides were any higher, then I would have had to be vaulting over logs. By this point, I was completely beat. The cable car and seemingly endless amounts of ropes turned my arms into spaghetti. My feet were beginning to get stone bruised from all the small pebbles along all these mini beaches. That one was on me though, for I was over encumbered for this adventure.
I have made it. The land of the irony. This is a huge beach. Good evening. It's around 8 o'clock and I finally set up camp and I'm just beginning to cook my first meal. Got here a little later than I wanted to. Wanted to get here around 6 o'clock or so, but it was about an hour or so late. It was a pretty strenuous day, to say the least. It wasn't too bad until I got to Tripod Beach, and it was just a jungle gym, if you will. I was going vertical up ropes and up super steep banks. You wouldn't have been able to just climb up them without the ropes. Like, it would have been extremely treacherous if it were wet out, and dangerous. Actually, it would have been very dangerous if it was wet out. So yeah, I'm just thankful it wasn't a slippery mess when I was up there. And yeah, that sapped out quite a bit of my energy. And then I got to Camp Sutil, which was pretty nice. Nice long beach. And pretty much west of that was, yeah, just a lot of up and down. You're going in the forest and then you're going back onto the beach, rocky beaches, of course. So yeah, it's not very good on the feet. It was a bit of a slow go. I think I was only averaging about 1.5K when I was in that area. Then you come on to the glorious Irony Bight. And yeah, it's something else. I think it's a 3-kilometer beach, just sand. I think it's the nicest one, but we'll see about that. That's what I say about everyone. Tonight's special, of course, Ichiban and Golden Suit. Also found the remnants of yesterday, lost in the woods. Chamomile honey manila. So I'm gonna try this out. This one's a first for me. Did about 10 hours or so of hiking, so yeah, I'm pretty beat today, to say the least. Yeah, I think that was the toughest stretch for sure. Everyone says Tripod Beach is the hardest part of the whole journey, so I'm glad that's past me. It was a lot of fun though, don't get me wrong. But yeah, that was an upper body day, that's for sure. Yeah, west of the Sutil campsite there, yeah, it was just ropes everywhere too. Not as crazy as Tripod Beach, but yeah, there was probably between the two 20 to 30 ropes. So yeah, there was a lot. I found myself a nice little nook to cook dinner. It's getting kind of foggy out right now. As soon as I got onto the beach, the sun just appeared and shone light upon my tent for a good 10 minutes, and now we're back in the mist. Very misty out now. Finally made it back to camp. It's about 9:30. I am quite tired. So yeah, it's time to hit the hay, get up in 8 hours, and do it all over again. Tomorrow I'll be going to Laura Creek. It's only 4 campsites. The beach camping is it's not the best. Apparently you gotta be really close to the shoreline or else high tide will get you. So I don't know what's gonna happen to me tomorrow, because I'm not gonna be 1st or 4th or 10th. So yeah, I'm gonna have to get creative. But yeah, anyways, I think that's it for today. See you all next time. Bye for now.
What a wonderful day that was. It sure was challenging, but that's what also made it fun. Day 2 will test what you're made of and is the hardest day by far. It only gets easier from here, so rest assured, if you can make it this far, you can finish the rest with ease. I got a few behind the scenes after this time lapse. Enjoy! I found me a green froggo.
That was fun.